In 1998, everyone was eagerly waiting for Ocarina of Time, and although Ocarina was not released until 7 months later, the anticipation was so high that few people noticed when a game called Mystical Ninja starring Goemon was ported over to the United States. Not much was known about the title here. At the time, it was described as Ocarina crossed with Mario 64, an action-adventure platformer with dungeons and puzzles. Pretty good marketing. Much like those games, Mystical Ninja was the first 3D release in its series, but only the second to be released in America. Although I wasn't thinking anything about that at the time. Switching on the game now, you might not even realize you have the American version. It is no mystery that this is a big reason this game is not popular here in the US. Unlike other games and animes which received a heavy coat of westernization, Mystical Ninja is shamelessly Japanese. The game is set in feudal Japan, and you traverse across the country visiting a few famous landmarks. You have sliding doors, komodos, real coins, vibrant sunsets, cherry blossoms, shrines and temples, including money boxes, with priests who always seem to be trying to get money from you. You put 5 coins in and you get a prize. That's easy enough. And look at that. So now that I know the secret, I put 5 more coins in. It's as easy as that, baby! Oh. The dungeons feature Japanese cuisine, artwork, architecture, calligraphy, and a palette of rich and exotic color schemes. Characters have little plaques which appear with their name the first time they're introduced. I've never been to Japan, but I'm assuming this is exactly how it is. Coincidentally, the plot itself is sort of an exposition on the battle between traditional Japan and modern Western ideals. The villain in the game is a group of mysterious aliens who arrive in a giant UFO shaped like a peach to turn Japan into a giant stage with musical numbers and laugh tracks, an idea which was of particular interest to me after reading Calvin and Hobbes comics. In the very first scene, when the Peach Mountain gang arrives, the first thing they do is shoot a laser beam at the Lord's Palace, which converts it into a more European stylized castle. One of the first NPCs you can talk to is a little girl who wonders if the beam hit her, would she turn into a model EU citizen? All of this makes for a nonsensical plot, which is intentionally surreal and hilarious if you don't overthink it. This plot serves well to create a unique story, which takes advantage of the chance to include musical numbers and break the fourth wall. Some of the most fun in the game is talking to people to gather information about your journey. Most of them are quiet and modest people who look like they have a story to tell. Come back here, you can't get from me. I got you cornered now. He didn't say anything interesting. You have the kid who talks politics. This dude mastering his sword in the corner. The guy who tells you about the pipe maker at Mount Fuji. And his twin cousin who tells you the same thing. The officer who thinks he's RoboCop. The officer with the atomic stick. The gatekeeper who knows too much. The dog who knows too much. The dog who knows even more. The guy who doesn't seem to know anything. The Lord who doesn't seem very good at his job. But this old woman sure seems to like him. The rich collector who will bless you far, far away! Mokubai, who makes pipes on Mount Fuji to impress girls. The town pickpocketer who steals your money. Just gotta whack him over the head. The wise old man, one of the most respected members of the community, who also sold the robots and weapons to the bad guys in exchange for porno magazines, a fact which was censored in the American version. boy who is ashamed of his special gift to become a dragon because he gets caught in the struggle and abused by those who wish to take advantage of it. Then you get 3/4 through the game to find out a woman delivering dumplings has made it as far as you. When an entire island turns into Metal Mario and gets sucked into outer space, this man comments on how business is bad because nobody comes to outer space. The toothy innkeeper will gladly show you to a room and greet you in the morning, which is worth doing just to see the unique animations based on what room you choose and what character you are using. If you are stuck, you can always rely on the fortune teller to give you a hint, who I always thought was a woman for some reason. You.
Ooh.
You also have the henchmen, who look almost identical to where even the main characters can't tell them apart. They are totally incompetent, but are good for trading childish insults. In fact, maybe they are a lot like children, always grasping for attention from mysterious man and mysterious woman, a Team Rocket type duo who serve as the main villain in the story. They can be downright menacing to just as childish and conceited. Mysterious man is always calling the main characters by random names like Fernandez and Antonio, and Mysterious woman is always trying to find her spotlight out of his shadow. Amazingly, in all this time, we have yet to talk about the main characters. As the name Mystical Ninja starring Goemon implies, the main character is Goemon. Based on a Japanese historical figure who was basically a ninja Robin Hood, Goemon is joined by a group of characters based on Japanese folklore as you progress through the game. Each character has a different style and can learn special abilities, which make them feel unique, and you can switch between the characters you met at any time to keep the game fresh. Goemon's melee feels rock solid as he swings his big pipe, and he can learn how to go Super Saiyan to move heavy objects. But then you switch to Secret Ninja Agent, and it's so satisfying the first time you swing her sword. Later in the game, she can swim underwater as a mermaid. Mechanical Ninja Sasuke is quick and nimble, once you find the D batteries to revive him. And he can throw bombs and freeze objects. Ebizumaru, the lovable, loyal, and perverted sidekick, can do this. And this. And this. In the Japanese version, each character has a unique dialect and word choice from different regions and archaic time periods, which is lost in translation. Oh yeah, how could we forget Goemon Impact, the giant clockwork robot who is a movie star in America? Impact is summoned by the Triton Shell, found in the rubble of the wise old man's home. Your first use of Impact is to avenge the murder of the wise old man, but not before destroying more buildings in a minigame to gather health. I hear there are guys using gigantic robots to taunt sounds. Uh-oh. All that is forgotten for when you blow the Triton Shell. You are distracted with one of the most well-loved sequences in the game.
限界パワーが炸裂パンチ俺は
Mystical Ninja tells its story in music as much as dialogue. As I said, the plot of turning the world into a theater allows Mystical Ninja to operate naturally as a sort of opera. To do this, the game cartridge was increased to 128 megabits, which was large at the time, simply to accommodate the music. The graphics are outdated and the world is small and confined by modern standards, but you feel immersed in the story and environment thanks to the greatest soundtrack of all time, featuring the singers from Dragon Ball Z, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider. Seriously, even if you won't play the game, go listen to the OST on YouTube. I used to sit and record the audio by holding my baby Play School cassette recorder up to the TV speakers so I could listen to it anytime. You begin in Goemon's home of Oedo, with a peaceful, friendly tune that describes the people who live there. But then you open the door to Kai Highway and BOOM! This is exactly what an adventure sounds like. Enemies move and attack with the rhythm of traditional, Japanese, and modern beats, once again emphasizing the battle of old and new. I used to go in and out of Oedo Castle just to hear that intro. Much like Zelda, in Mystical Ninja you fight through dungeons. As you progress through those dungeons, the music will keep building and building and becoming more layered and complex. And then you get to the boss battle, and it's all like... Step into a shop or restaurant and you feel like in the commercials where the lemon slice splashes through the arc of soda in an orgasm of what it means to be refreshing. And you arrive in Folkypoke to find all the children have been kidnapped by the Peach Mountain Gang for dancing talent. Before you even know that, the music has told you that things are critical here. The mood is dire and swift action is needed. But later in the game, you return there again and the atmosphere is celebratory, jubilant, as the town is vibrant again. Everyone is grateful that children have returned, but nothing visually really changed about the town itself. I don't need any dialogue to know this is some freaky shit. Or that this is a sacred place. This is how you establish atmosphere in a video game, and Mystical Ninja continues to do that over and over, bringing simple environments to life with music and lovable characters, and then it all culminates to this. something in my eyes. You begin to feel sympathy for the bad guys, and you begin to question whether you're even on the right side. Even our heroes begin to doubt. Mystical Ninja starring Goemon is a classic. It stood the test of time, it deserves as much attention as its famous contemporaries, and it deserves a spot in Super Smash Bros.